Mr. Ravi Kalra, thank you so much for giving us an opportunity. The moment I entered this organization, there was something that started speaking to me. I realized that my eyes were looking for one person to another, and through them, I could actually see the soul. A soul which is indebted to you because you have chosen to give your life to them. You're known as Karma Yogi, a social activist and environmentalist. And you started this organization in the year 2008.
That's right.
The question that comes to my mind was, and it still remains the same, that what was the defining moment when you decided that my life is not for me now? It's for the compassion, it's for the welfare, it is for the world.
Actually, the fact is, I've been struggling for the last 25 years to devote my life for the service of less privileged people. So it was only in 2007, I believe God heard my prayer. That particular time I was going somewhere in Delhi and I saw incidentally a poor child and a street dog eating together from the stinking garbage. So within a fraction of seconds, I decided to devote my life. And I started going midnight on street, looking for people, those who have no amenities or those who are struggling for their life. And I was stunned to witness some of them were even retired judges, some were educationists, some were army men, freedom fighters, NRIs, even up to extent of intellectual peoples. Sometimes we see them with long hairs or long nails, and we often think they must be beggars or drug addicts. So when I started talking to them, I found such a different life, and I conveyed my message to Lord Almighty that thanks, you have offered me a very precious duty. And to do so, I founded a rescue center where I offer free of charge admission, food, medicines, and every day-to-day amenities. And by the blessings of God, over the years, since 2008, I have successfully rescued thousands of them from the roads. Thousands have been united back with their families, and hundreds of them are living permanently in our shelter.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Kalra. Mr. Kalra, you know what? The same incident happened with me as well. And I remember this was 3 to 4 years back. I was in Bandra in Mumbai, and I was sitting at bandstand near to the seashore, and I was actually enjoying a cup of coffee.
Right.
And I saw probably an insane person, जिसको हम पागल कहते हैं, with long hairs, what you're talking about. And he was actually picking up glasses and the bottles
Right.
from the garbage bin. And he was looking for water. He was looking for the waste that people throw after eating the burgers and the sandwiches, right? So the small pieces that people throw, he was actually looking for a meal for himself.
Right.
I paused there for a while. I thought for a while, but I did not have the courage to do something about that. And many a times it happens with us that we come across these kind of instances. I'm sure many such instances would have happened with you.
Yes.
But how did you manage to get that courage? How did you manage to convince your family? This is the cause that I would like to stand for. And my life is dedicated to that. Because when I was going through your profile, I realized that you are a level 4 Taekwondo black belt as well, right? The kind of family that you've had and you have, many people would die for that. Your dad retired from Delhi police, right?
Yes.
You were married and you've got 2 kids.
Yes.
Was it easy for you to convince them that now onwards I'm going to give my life to the upliftment of society?
Unfortunately, it was a very difficult path. God took many exams of mine. When I came into Seva, God tested me with the very first exam which I had to qualify, that was with the family. And unfortunately, my wife did not like such devotion and she left me. And I had that time one small son and a daughter, so she took them also. So that was a very painful moment for me. And I also remember, though my past was in a very bad situation, we struggled and not from a good stable family, did not have much money to support. Though father retired as Delhi police inspector, but there were big expenses in family and less collection. So we were in a suffering zone. But I had compassion. I wanted to serve the nation, and I wanted to devote myself for the service of less privileged people. I did very hard work, changed a lot of businesses. In fact, you would be proud to know that I was an unarmed combat trainer. I taught armed forces and police battalions.
Yeah.
And God made me travel to 47 different nations around the world.
Yeah.
And I also work with US Army on contract basis. I have witnessed both the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. I have even witnessed 3 civil wars, one in Liberia, one in East Timor, and one in Lebanon, in Beirut. But maybe God was making me tougher day by day. But in my own country, to whom I love the way all of us love India, I was going somewhere in Delhi and I was just kneel down when I saw a poor child and a street dog eating together from the stinking garbage yard. That was a turning point in my life. Because something came in my mind that we all live for ourselves. We do nothing for our community. So one way we are begging and pleading God that God pour us with the comforts and money. But God must be thinking that you ask me every time, why don't you pay back? It's your duty.
Yeah.
So I believe one day when we will all go back to Lord Almighty, God is not going to ask us how much money have we made for ourselves. We need to answer and justify ourselves. That what we did do, what have we done for the people, those who are dying with hunger on the road, what we have done for the animals or for the environment concern. So when such topics started knocking my brain and my heart, I could not devote myself for my own. I decided to give up everything. In fact, I gave up within a fraction of a second. But as I told you, the journey was not easy. My family left me. My wife did not like such service. It was difficult to raise money from the community because it was a huge expense every month. And police did not believe. Initially, they charged me with the sort of a kidney rackets. They thought it's a kidney racket. I'm bringing people from the road and I'm selling organs. So it was a very difficult task. They would beat me every day. Community did not believe. People would run away from me. That what is in my mind? What is this going on? But yes, my hard work, my devotion paid me. And by the blessings of Lord, people have started believing. Even from the different state police department, they bring abandoned and disabled people to us. Even honorable courts, up to extent, they also admit such bedridden and mentally disabled people. Many different government hospitals, even public keep flooding such people. I myself keep going midnight on street. So that's how it has become a symbol of selfless service.
Beautiful. I would love to listen to more of your selfless services because I understand there are primarily 5 missions that you're working on. One, you're working on the old age home that you have. You're running a rescue center.
Yes.
You have a do not honk campaign, and that is going wild on the streets of Delhi. To an extent, people have stopped using honks, right? Then you also run Gianari Niketan, and also I understand that you are doing a lot of work for the environment, right?
Yes,
At the same time, I should never forget the Gaushala that you run. Yes. I would come to that, but here is the time I would like to take a pause and I would like to give to a message to the people who are actually listening to us. That here is Mr. Ravi Kalra, who have chosen to let go of everything for a cause that I stand for.
Right.
On one hand, when we talk about, I've heard many people saying that only if I had more money, only if I had more time, only if my family is with me, only if everything is going really well, then I would contribute to the society. Only then I would take a stand for the cause that I stand for. And here is a gentleman, and that was 10 years back, when everything is going really well, blessed with 2 kids. At a fraction of a second, you said, I would like to devote my life for the compassion, for the old age care people, for the unrecognized bodies that you take care of. Yes. I would come to that, and that's something which is heart-wrenching. And while I'm speaking, I can see a lot of emotions in my own self.
Right.
I don't know if I should say you've had the honor of or not, but then also I would say you've had the honor of helping over 5,000 people to let go of their physical body and to become one with the universal consciousness.
Right.
You have actually helped those people in the last ritual, and you have cremated over 5,000 people.
Right.
Can you tell me something more about that?
When I started this rescue center, a lot of people would come from the roads. As I said, those were dying with discomforts. Some were in coma. Some did not have bath for years. Someone even discredited by the hospitals. Hospitals will send them to us by saying that medicines are not working, we only need prayers. So that's how a lot of people started dying in my arms. So I would myself cremate them because they had no family member, no one to give them a helping hand or to offer prayers. And my heart was with them. I was playing Lord Almighty that give me such service. So over the blessings of God, Lord Almighty, I have cremated more than 5,000 unclaimed dead bodies. Most of them died here in my arms. Others were found floating in Yamuna River. Some were murdered and there was no claim. And some were even chopped up in pieces by the train accident. Some would die in hospitals. So that's how police started calling me and they would seek my services. So I myself offer prayers, kafan ka kapda, havan samagri, dan dakshina to Panditjis, and after cremation I take their ashes to Haridwar for visurgence.
And in that too in their respective religion.
Yes.
Does not really matter what religion we belong
No.
to. At the end of the day, we all come here for a purpose.
That's right.
We do our purpose and then we go back to where we belong to.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's respectively whatever religion they belong to, Hindus, Christians, or Muslims, we do according to their religion, if we know.
So Kalra sahab, ek baat bataiye. One of the things that I often tell people that I am here for a purpose. If you ask me, Gaurav, do you know your purpose? Probably yes, probably no. But what I definitely know is that everything that I'm doing, this conversation with you, is actually helping me to move towards the destination that I belong to. I personally believe that you are one of those very few privileged people who have actually got the calling. When you said that fraction of second, I decided and I never looked back.
Never.
So Kalra sahab, ek baat bataiye. If you look back 2007,
Yes.
what has shifted for you? If you look back, how has that Ravi Kalra evolved in last 10 years?
If I look back myself, though there is no chance to go back, but yes, if I see from the window, अगर मैं 2007 से पहले की बात बताऊं तो मैं इतना comfort zone achieve कर चुका था. I was a golf course member of DLF golf course. I would play every day. My teammates used to be joint secretaries of Government of India, high commissioners, ambassadors, excellencies, lieutenant generals. और उससे भी extend में जैसे luxury and good circle, social life. My earnings used to be couple of lakh rupees every day. In fact, my savings used to be couple of lakh rupees every day. This is what I would save. But अंदर से जैसे गॉड के सामने था, भगवान आपके पास आएंगे तो क्या जवाब देंगे आपको? सेवा तो कुछ की नहीं, सिर्फ अपने लिए जी रहे हैं. क्योंकि मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि जो ह्यूमन है उसका ब्रेन धरती पर किसी भी प्राणी से मैच नहीं खाता है. वो शायद इसलिए क्योंकि भगवान जी ने हम सबको इतना अच्छा ब्रेन दिया कि हम उनको रिप्रेजेंट करें, हम सेवा करें मानव कल्याण के लिए. लेकिन हम सब ऐसा करते नहीं हैं. हम अपनी कंट्री की तरफ ही देखें, जबकि मैं भी आपकी तरह हिंदुस्तान से बहुत प्यार करता हूँ, लेकिन एक सब्जेक्ट को डिबेट में लाना चाहता हूँ. अभी तो हम मानवता में फंस गए, लेकिन अगर आप देखें तो ट्रैफिक हैजर्ड्स ने हमारी लाइफ को कैच कर दिया. हमारा टूरिज्म चौपट होता जा रहा है. सूंघने के लिए ऑक्सीजन नहीं बची है बिल्कुल भी. जॉब्स नहीं है हमारे पास. जीव जंतुओं की हालत खराब है. नकली प्लास्टिक का चावल आ गया जो हम सब खा रहे हैं लोग. नकली दूध बिक रहा है. गौ माता की दूध में बदबू आ रही है. जगह जगह अनट्रीटेड वेस्ट गार्बेज पड़ा हुआ है जिसकी ट्रीटमेंट नहीं है. सड़कें टूटी हुई हैं. अस्पताल फ्लड हो रखे हैं. एक एक बेड के ऊपर दो दो पेशेंट पड़े हुए हैं. और फिर भी हम भगवान से मांगते रहते हैं और भगवान को कहते हैं, भगवान मुझे और शांति दो, और शांति दो, और पैसे दो, सब कुछ दे दो. भगवान तो गुस्से होंगे. भगवान सोचते होंगे अरे तुम हिंदुस्तानी को तो सब कुछ दे दिया, अच्छी सेहत दे दी, पैसे दे दिए, अच्छा कंट्री दे दिया, मोदी साहब दे दिए, तुम खुद को नहीं करते सब लोग?
खुद भी कर लो.
क्योंकि भगवान जी को तो भी कंसंट्रेट करना है सीरिया में, इजराइल में, अफगानिस्तान में, सूडान में, अफ्रीकन नेशंस में, जहाँ पर आज भी इंसान के पास एक टाइम की रोटी नसीब नहीं है, जहाँ आज भी बच्चे केमिकल अटैक से मर रहे हैं. तो भगवान जी को तो हमें वहाँ कंसंट्रेट करने देना चाहिए और हम सब लोगों को अपनी ड्यूटी निभानी चाहिए और अपनी कंट्री वेलफेयर के लिए काम करना चाहिए. तो जब ऐसी बातें मेरे माइंड में आई तो मैंने एक सेकंड में अपने लिए जीना छोड़ दिया. लाखों रुपए रोज की कमाई छोड़ दी. चले चलाए बिजनेस छोड़ दिए, अपनी ज़मीनें जायदाद पैसा सब गरीबों को दान दे दिया.
Thank you so much, Kalra sir, for sharing this. Sometime back, I was talking to another friend of mine. His name is Azad Pandey. Azad Pandey साहब का क्या हुआ कि he was waiting, go to a hospital,
Okay.
and he was waiting at the railway station at the age of 20. He saw a small girl eating from the railway track. And that was the time he said कि यार उसके बाद मैं लड़की को बहुत ढूंढा, वो लड़की तो नहीं मिली, पर मुझे अपना जिंदगी का मकसद मिल गया. At the same time, you know, today also, I am sure, so आप जैसे आप बता रहे हैं कि people are only asking and asking. So हम क्या कर सकते हैं कि we can practice and we become masters of what we practice. So currently हम क्या कर रहे हैं कि we are practicing hatred, we are practicing anger, we are practicing what we don't have.
Yes.
Only if we have more people like you, only if we can, the earth could be blessed with more Mr. Ravi Kalras. I think we should start practicing giving back. We should start practicing standing for a cause. We should start practicing compassion. We should start practicing welfare, contribution. I think the world would be a very, very different place. Kalra साहब एक बात बताइए कि इस लास्ट 10 सालों में, right, आपने बहुत सारे, you would have experienced some really tough times.
जी.
Many hurdles.
जी.
From society, from the government, from the family pressure that you have said. Was there any one point where you started doubting yourself, where you thought that I'm done, I cannot handle it? And then how did you come back from that hurdle?
वैसे सच बताऊं, if I confessed you, I have done my life and I feel I am blessed. God has kept me in the basket of flowers and I am not scared. I have even pledged my 10 more birth for the service of less privileged people, and there is no question of any doubt or getting afraid. बट हाँ, ये ज़रूर है कि सेवा का रास्ता बहुत टफ होता है और बहुत हर्डल्स आती हैं, और पास में बहुत सारी संस्थाओं ने बहुत सारे लोगों को सेंटिमेंट्स को हर्ट किया, इसलिए लोगों को साथ जोड़ना बहुत मुश्किल होता है और एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन से इतना सपोर्ट नहीं मिल पाता है जितना चाहिए. जैसे कि अगर हमारी सेवा के ऊपर बात करें तो ये रास्ता इतना टफ था और है भी, अभी भी, एवरी डे इट्स लाइक ए गेम ऑफ डेथ फॉर मी. I don't know what will happen to me tomorrow. Every day is a battle for me to save these people. जैसे कि एक बार आधी रात को आग लग गई, रात को 2 बजे, और बहुत लोग मर गए. मैं अकेला था. अगर उस रात को मैं नहीं बचा रहा होता तो गारंटेड नेक्स्ट मॉर्निंग 300 डेड बॉडीज मिलती, जिसमें कि वहाँ 2 डेड बॉडी मिली, बिल्कुल चॉप्ड अप थी, जली हुई थी, रोस्टेड थी, और 30 लोगों का तो पता ही नहीं लगा कहाँ गए. 13 फायर ब्रिगेड टैंकर्स आए थे, काउंटलेस पुलिस, सब जल गया, सब खत्म हो गया. 1 साल लिटिगेशन भुगता, उससे बाहर आया तो किसी मेजर साहब ने ज़मीन दे दी रंगपुरी पहाड़ी महिपालपुर में. वहाँ हमने तंबू लगा दिए और शेल्टर्स के नीचे सब लोग रहते थे. वो शेल्टर्स इतने वीक थे और जो लोग थे बेड रिडन थे, किसी को कीड़े पड़े हैं, कोई मेंटली डिसेबल है, कोई कोमा में है, कोई 8 साल से ज़मीन से नहीं उठा, यूरिन स्टूल में कंट्रोल नहीं है, और बहुत मुश्किल था उनको सेव करना. और टेम्परेचर इतना बढ़ गया, 46 डिग्री टेम्परेचर हो गया, और सब लोग सिर्फ एक थिन लेयर ऑफ आयरन शीट के नीचे रह रहे थे, और 35 डेथ्स हो गई 1 महीने के अंदर. तो सरकार को जवाब देना मुश्किल हो गया. फिर उन लिटिगेशन से बाहर आए तो वहाँ फ्लड आ गया. उससे पहले लीज खत्म हो गई, सड़कों पे पड़े रहे, बहुत लोग मर गए. जब फ्लड आया तो डिज़ास्टर मैनेजमेंट टीम ने सबको इवैक्यूएट किया. गवर्नमेंट ने एक छोटा सा कम्युनिटी सेंटर दे दिया, 300 लोग, और कोई सहारा नहीं, कोई टॉयलेट बाथरूम की फैसिलिटी भी नहीं. फिर मैं हार के सबको अपनी ज़मीन या बंदवाड़ी गांव में ले आया, गुड़गांव के अंदर. इधर सबको लाए तो गांव वालों ने फतवा निकाल दिया, बहुत मारा पिटा, गालियां दी, प्रशासन को भड़का दिया कि ज़मीन हमारी है, ये मनी लॉन्ड्रिंग है, यहाँ किडनी रैकेट है. फिर बहुत लिटिगेशंस हुए, गवर्नमेंट ने डाउट किया, इन्वेस्टिगेशंस हुई, उन सबको क्वालिफाई किया. तो डेथ टोल इतना हाई है यहाँ पर, लोग इतनी बुरी हालत में आते हैं, बच्चे अपने माँ बाप को गुरुकुल के गेट पे छोड़ के भाग जाते हैं, सुबह आओ तो डेड बॉडीज पड़ी होती हैं वहाँ पर. तो इट्स ए वेरी टफ जोन. बट येस, इन अदर हैंड ये हमारी कंट्री के लिए बहुत ज़रूरी है सेवा, क्योंकि हमारी कंट्री की बहुत डिसरिस्पेक्ट होती है. जो फॉरेन टूरिस्ट हैं, NRI कम्युनिटी है, और जो इंटरनेशनल बिजनेस कम्युनिटी है, वो अब हमारी कंट्री में आना पसंद नहीं करते हैं। एयरपोर्ट पर आप उतरें, 3 मिनट के अंदर हमारी कंट्री की पोल खुल जाती है। 3 मिनट के बाद महिपालपुर चौक आता है। अगर आपको दिल्ली एयरपोर्ट का एग्जांपल दूं तो मिडनाइट आप फ्लाइट से लैंड कीजिए, इंटरनेशनल फ्लाइट से, आप महिपालपुर चौक पहुंचेंगे 3 मिनट में। आप बच्चों को भीख मांगते देख सकते हो आधी रात को, ट्रैफिक जैम देख सकते हो। गौ माता की तो हालत ख़राब है, सुअर से भी बदतर हालत है बेचारी की। लोग बिना कपड़ों के पड़े हुए हैं, जगह जगह स्टिंकिंग गार्बेज पड़ा हुआ है, खूब लोग हॉर्न बजा रहे हैं। तो इस कंट्री में कोई क्यों आना पसंद करेगा? तो अब वो ब्लेम का टाइम नहीं रह गया। मुझे लगता है कि हमें पाकिस्तान के अटैक की ज़रूरत ही नहीं है। हम सब ने अपने लिए एक सिविल वॉर अपनी कंट्री में क्रिएट कर दिया हमारे लिए। तो आई बिलीव वी आर इन ए एंटी क्लॉक जोन राइट नाउ। वी हैव ओनली 5 years लेफ्ट। हमारे पास पीने का पानी नहीं है, हमारे पास सूंघने के लिए ऑक्सीजन नहीं है, ट्रैफिक हैजर्ड्स ने हमारी लाइफ को चोक कर दिया है, हमारा टूरिज्म जीरो हो रहा है, हमारे पास जॉब्स नहीं है। अगर हम सब लोग आगे बढ़कर, अपने आप को भूल कर, अपने आप से ऊपर उठकर अगर देश कल्याण के लिए, मानव कल्याण के लिए, जीव जंतुओं के लिए नहीं करेंगे तो एक दिन हम सबको ये खमियाजा भुगतना पड़ेगा।
And I also understand that you take care of over 425 people for their food, shelter, medical, basic amenities on daily basis. I will talk about that, but let me just ask this question from everyone who are listening to us right now. That जैसे कालरा साहब ने कहा है कि अभी blame का करने का time नहीं रह गया है. So this is the time when you actually need to own that, right? Enough of blaming everyone else. Enough of asking and questioning people that यार ये कैसे करेंगे और वो कैसे करेंगे. This is the time to actually own this. 425 people. And what I understand is from the basic expense sheet that you have, which is visible to everyone there, कि आपका जो month का expense है, that touches almost like 30 lakh rupees.
Yeah, more than
month, that. Right? More than that. सर 30 लाख रुपया महीने का. How do you manage?
इसमें अगर आप टेक्निकल बात करें, टेक्निकल आंसर तो सुपर फ्लॉप है। टेक्निकल आंसर के हिसाब से ये संस्था एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करनी चाहिए, क्योंकि अनफॉर्चुनेटली हमें आज तक कभी गवर्नमेंट सपोर्ट नहीं मिली, कभी पैसे नहीं मिले। गवर्नमेंट ने हमें एक लाइसेंस जरूर दिया कि फॉरेन से हेल्प ले लो, लेकिन हम सक्सेस नहीं ले पाए, क्योंकि हमारे पास इतना कैलिबर स्टाफ नहीं है जो हमें रिप्रेजेंट करे और फॉरेन से हम फंड रेज कर सकें। लेकिन अगर हम इमोशनल बात करें तो उसमें हमें बहुत अच्छी सक्सेस मिली है कि बहुत लोग जिन्होंने हमारी संस्था को एक्नॉलेज किया, उन्होंने अप्रिशिएट भी किया, और बहुत लोगों ने मंथली प्लेज कर दिया। जैसे किसी ने 500 रुपये महीना, किसी ने 2000 रुपीज़ ए मंथ, सम अप टू एक्सटेंड ऑफ 10,000 रुपीज़ ए मंथ, सम 20,000 रुपीज़ ए मंथ. That's how 50 to 60% of our expenses we are secured. There is no look back. God has showered us blessings. God wants us to serve these people, and that's how we sustain. Rest 40% is fluctuating, so we keep playing people to come and understand and help us. So that battle keeps going on. But the fact is, I strongly believe if we devote ourselves for the service of less privileged people, then the natural forces from the universe will come and strengthen your mission. That's how we sustain.
So I'm a firm believer of that, and I'm sure everyone who's listening to you right now, they would love to contribute in whatever capacity. And I understand जो आपकी जो संस्था है, Earth Saviours Foundation, that is registered under ATG Income Tax Exemption Act. Kalra sir, I'm just very curious to know, 10 साल की समाज सेवा करी आपने, at the cost of letting go of your family, and I'm sure you also mentioned that now the reconciliation between you and your family is happening.
That's right.
My wishes are with you कि वो जल्दी एक family बने, so that
Thank you.
together as one family you can contribute to the lives of more people.
Right.
You stood for a cause when people were not even willing to listen to you.
No.
You stood for a cause when people started questioning your intent. People started casting aspersions onto you.
Yes.
The government was not there to support you. There were many lips who were willing to pray for you. Not even a single hand who was willing to keep on your shoulder. This is the shoulder who has actually kept the unidentified bodies of over 5,000 people.
That's
right, for the last cremation rite. If you were to give one message, what would that be?
That God has offered us a duty which we all need to perform. Otherwise, the life can never be completed. And due to selflessness, we have given countless wounds to our Mother Earth. and we all need to stand to save our Mother Earth. Otherwise, one day we will all have the consequences.
एक मेरा बहुत ही वेरी क्लोज फ्रेंड ऑफ माइंड वो कहता है कि एवरी टाइम व्हेन यू सर्व यू डोंट सर्व फ्रॉम द मनी, you don't serve from the certifications that you have, you don't serve from the designations that you have, you serve from your wounds. What would you stand for? That's a question I'm going to leave you all with. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mr. Kalra, for
Thank you for
your
kindness.
time. It was such a privilege.
Thank you for spreading selfless service.